Paul 2008.
Yeah!
Looks like we have a very large crowd. I want to thank you very much for coming this evening, especially on very short notice. And I do want to thank also the university here for hosting us. I do want to... Tomorrow's a very important day, as you all know. It's election day here in Indiana. I want to encourage everybody to get out and vote tomorrow. So this evening, spend a second or two, call friends, call family, talk to the neighbors, and make sure that they make it out to the polling booth tomorrow and vote for Dr. Paul.
Austin, you gotta stay over.
Well, we're running a little bit behind, so I want to get into it. I want to quickly introduce Dr. Paul. He's a congressman from Texas. He has never voted for a tax increase.
Yeah!
He has never voted for an unbalanced budget.
Yeah! That's good.
He voted against the Patriot Act.
Somebody tried to tell me the campaign was over. Looks like we're just getting started on this, right? And tomorrow's going to be a big day, right? No, well, thank you very much for that very nice welcome. This has been very nice. All I have to do is apologize for not getting here sooner. This would have been just great. But I did know there were a lot of enthusiastic supporters up here, and I do know that we had a very, very energetic meetup group, and I want to thank them for all their work. It's been a very interesting year. It's been more than a year since we started. We started with an exploratory group, and then it became an official group. But I have been very upfront about admitting at the beginning I was very reluctant to do this because I was afraid there wouldn't be very many people interested. I didn't know how the young people would respond. I didn't know whether there was a big remnant or a small remnant. But let me tell you, this past year I found out that the message of liberty is alive and well. The young people love it, and the remnant is big. So we've done a lot this past year, and we have a lot more to do. But the magnificent thing is that we reach a lot of people. Yes, it is true. We at times got marginalized just a little bit now and then with the mainstream media. But nevertheless, I try to look on the positive side. They allowed me to get into the debates, and the response has been fantastic. Once the people who were introduced to these ideas went to the internet and looked at what the platform was all about. They were also impressed once they started looking at the voting record, because it impressed them to find out that, yes, there's been a lot of people who say nice things and talk about freedom and the Constitution, but it's so rare to find somebody that will actually vote that way. But I've always worked on one assumption from the very first time I ever ran for Congress was in 1974, and the assumption was, you know, what value would it be to be elected or re-elected if you didn't stand for something? Standing for something is much more important, but to win is also exciting. This is what we have done this, and we have traveled a lot. And to me, the magnificent thing was how many people did their own organization. We have shortcomings in the organization, obviously, but because of the energy created by the message, all the meetup groups around the countries, and literally tens of thousands now, we have, after tomorrow, the number of votes that we will have gotten in the primary will be well over 1 million people that have endorsed us. And I can assure you that there's, for everyone that did vote or will vote in the Republican primary, there's 1 or 2 or 3 more that are excited about it, they're fellow travelers, and they're wishing us well, because I meet them all the time. This is a big thing that's going on. It's much bigger than me, it's much bigger than any individual, but this country is in need of and ready for the message of liberty. And it isn't all that difficult. As difficult as our problems are, and I will talk about our problems, as big as they seem, we're not in as bad shape as some other countries that did not have good traditions. We have had good traditions. We've had a goodness of America that we should be proud of. We have believed in a better foreign policy than we have today, believe me. We have at times believed in sound money and property rights and contracts. All of these things have helped make America great, and we had a great document, probably the best document written in the world, is an agreement between the people and the government. I mean, unfortunately, we drifted from it, but at least we know what can work and what we have. It's not like we have to invent everything brand new. So there's every reason to be optimistic that when the time comes and when our numbers are even greater and this continues, that we will very well be able to return this country to obeying the Constitution, because the Constitution was written precisely, and this is the most important part of the Constitution, it was written to restrain the government, never to restrain the people. The debates early on brought attention to our platform, probably more so in foreign policy than anything else. Does anybody remember that little confrontation with that guy, Rudy Giuliani, or whatever? Yeah. All I can say now is he's not campaigning, he's out trying to collect money to pay off his debt right now. Now, what was thought on that evening by even some of the staff, and I was wondering what was happening. It turned out that that was really the beginning of an exciting part of the campaign, because it made a point that our foreign policy was different than the foreign policy of all the rest of them up on the stage.